What's going on, guys? Welcome to the preview for the opening game of the Premier League season. Manchester United versus Fulham goes down on Friday night at 8 o'clock, and the watch-alongs are back, so make sure you come and join us on Real Reds Talk over for that. Alongside me, we have the wonderful Jimmy Ortega, and we have Shreyas Singh live from Turkey. Where are the levels of optimism going into this game? Shreyas, I'll start with you first, mate.
Still 50-50. I just need to see, what actually happens on the pitch, what is the 11 that Ten Hag actually picks. But there is there is the usual excitement as well, because Premier League football is going to be back after such a long time, finally seeing United play. So the excitement is there, but realistically I also know how the game might go tomorrow, so just a little scared about it.
Okay, interesting. Civir, how are you feeling? Because I remember you saying there was still some concerns, but obviously before we brought LIGT in and MAZRAOui, that slightly changed a little bit. But are there still them initial concerns for you with this game against Fulham?
Quietly confident, but I suppose it's one of those ones where we just have to see how it goes for the first game, and then we can kind of, make judgment going forward. But I think we can win this.
It should do, innit? It's got that feeling like the opening game. It's at Old Trafford. You've got all this positivity going into it, new signings. Like, if you was to lose, the energy would be sucked right out of it, wouldn't it? From the start, from the off.
But I was actually quite impressed with. I mean, obviously after taking a day after that, I was actually quite impressed with how we played against City. So I mean, there were a lot of positives to take from that. So yeah, looking forward to tomorrow. Well, Friday.
That's the one.
Yeah.
You're not the only one, mate. I said that before, saying tomorrow. Completely forgetting it's Wednesday. I mean, the obvious question is, Shreyas, do you chuck LIGT and MAZRAOui straight in there?
I think LIGT might get the start. He might get the nod ahead, because the thing is, except for Lisandro, there's no other option who can actually help us in accommodating, playing that high line, playing that high intensity, allowing our full backs to actually progress forward, while being able to have the recovery pace as well as the positional awareness to be just completely at it whenever you're being hit on the counter attack. So Delict might get chucked in. Even Mazraoui might get chucked in, because when it comes to senior fullbacks, the only ones that are fit right now are him and Dalo. So he's going to be chucked in. Delict is going to be chucked in as well. So I just hope that they have a decent outing, because I think they've hardly had any time with the training sessions as well. It will take some time for them to adapt to the new atmosphere in the Premier League, the new club, the new players that they're going to be playing around. But having that prior connection with players like Onana, even and with Lisandro as well, might actually help them a bit in integrating into this team.
I think it's an interesting one systematically, Civir, purely because of the fact of, regardless of whatever different profiles you bring in, there's going to be a tactical tweak here, though, or there, whether it's MAZRAOui on the left, the low on there, whether Delict comes in, if Evans starts. A lot of question marks around that. What have you thought of the kind of the false nine system? Like you said a couple of things impressed you in it against City. Do you like that more so than what we saw last season? You wouldn't expect to see that chaotic nature, would you, in the Prem?
I don't mind a false nine if we have someone who's really good at playing the false nine. I'd rather just see a striker, like a typical striker. So I'd like to see Xerxes start. But playing the false nine, Bruno or Sancho, it could work. It could actually work. But then I'd like to see a player who is more. For example, if hypothetically speaking, if we had like a Dani Olmo, right, then I'd understand that more, because, or maybe like Alvarez, or them kind of players, they're more suited to the roles, more natural to them. Right? So I'd like to have a player who the false nine is more natural to them. But then when you have players like Sancho and Bruno, they can do it. But I'll just be more comfortable with a natural striker.
I am fascinated.
What I did like, however, was like the transitions. Like, this is the first time when we played the City game where I could actually see these transitions that Ten Hag has been talking about, all throughout last season. So it's one of the things where I'm really looking forward to seeing, like, getting the ball from our half to theirs, to the goal in, like, I don't know, 3, 4 passive sort of thing.
The individual profiles help with that. I think someone mentioned this. It might have been Carl Anker on Talk of the Devils. And I think he made a great point of it, saying that having players like Ahmad, Bruno, Mount, Garnacho, when you're playing those quick vertical passes that you were alluding to there, you know, in tight spaces, they're the type of players that can just give and go like that. You saw Bruno, he does it all the time. City, the quick thinking on the ball is ridiculous. Mount as well is really, really good at that. So if you are going to play that system, I think you do need... I'd be happy to see Mount start alongside Bruno again. But as a midfield pairing, that's where it gets a bit dicey and it gets really, really open. So you need to pack that midfield
Can I just add, this might be unpopular, but Casemiro is key to that transition. The first...
The vertical passes you were alluding to, like how he is on the ball.
Those passes, going in. Like, he's key. Like, he might not be the same player defensively,
yes,
and he might not give us that cover, but going forward, he was absolutely key, especially when he played City. Like, those 3, I think it was the 3 chances that we missed. Mm-hmm. It all came from him.
Yeah.
It all came from him. The one with Ahmed where he played him in, the one with Rashford. Even, I think it was the Bruno one where he lobs the ball over. Like, he's key. His forward passing is really, really key. Yeah. So when you have a player like that, obviously, and then with the players you mentioned, who are, who are on it, who are ready to, receive the ball and then take it forward and all that kind of stuff. The only thing I would disagree with you is Mason Mount. Like, he runs a lot, and he has a lot of energy, but I just want to see more from him.
Okay, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. On that City game, Shreyas, what impressed you and what worried you going into this? Because that's obviously you're only as good as your last game, as you say.
Yeah, I think when it came to chance creation with players like, I think Ahmad was absolutely amazing on that right hand side against City. No defender was actually able to get the better of him in that game. He looked quite well. Bruno's first game back as well, I think he was very unlucky to have that goal being called offside, but was one hell of a shot. So he looked quite well. Lisandro looked quite decent as well in that game. I think mostly the overall team looked quite well. The concern I still have is, whenever players are being played out of position, sometimes it can get, a bit, I would say, lopsided, because in certain scenarios, when we were progressing the ball forward, I could see Lisandro actually tucking inside a bit too much, and then Evans actually having to cover his area on the left-hand side, and Doku was absolutely able to progress through that flank every single time that happened. So that actually creates a bit of a mess. So if you've got a natural fullback in those sort of scenarios, who've got that sort of recovery pace, who've got that sort of positional awareness as well, of where to be and where not to be wherever you're progressing the ball forward, or when you actually end up losing the ball in the final third, you need those sort of players in those areas. So I think mostly off the ball there were a bit of concerns. Finishing wise, definitely there were a bit of concerns, but I think finishing wise, most of those problems were because we didn't really have a natural striker in that front 3. I think if you have someone like a Hoyland or Xerxes in that front 3, some of those chances actually get up in the back of the net. So I think just finishing wise and off the ball, whenever we lost the ball in the midfield, there were a bit of, I would say, sloppiness in on our side. But apart from that, when it came to progressing the ball forward, when it came to creating those chances, I think we looked quite better, like genuinely a lot better than last year. Because last year it looked like whenever we had the ball on the edge of the box, we just didn't know what to do. We used to just cut in and go for a goal, or just pass the ball backwards and just try and take care of the possession side of things. For the first time, it actually looked, the wingers knew what to do. Bruno as well was being involved a lot more in the final third, which we actually wanted last year as well. Bruno to be in that final third, be able to supply those balls to the wingers as well as the striker. So there are definitely areas where we've improved a lot. Pressing wise as well, we've improved a lot, but still a couple of areas I think teams in the Premier League can take advantage of us.
Well, if we cast our minds back, Civir, to the game against Wolves last season, the opening game, obviously, and the year before that, we lost to Brighton, I think, 2-1. But that Wolves game, the result didn't say all, did it? Because it was very, very panicky. You could see straight from the off that midfield, I remember you saying specifically, actually, that midfield ain't going to work. You're completely worried about that. So do you see a different start for United, or you'd at least hope for a different start?
Yeah, because the setup is clearly different from last season. from what we've seen in pre-season and from what we saw from the City game, it's definitely changed, right? We're now playing with the two midfielders. It's not the isolated Casemiro thing, and then him pushing up as well. So it's completely changed now. I think there's a bit more balance in the squad. Obviously, we'd like to have more players in. But I think overall, there's a little bit more balance, and I think we just look a little bit more secure. The biggest problem we had against City, in my opinion, was in the final attacking stages, where we kind of got the ball, and there were times when, we kind of the players kind of read each other wrong and stuff like that. But at the back, I think we looked just that bit more secure, even though we had Johnny Evans and who was it? And Lisandro didn't look
He weren't
comfortable
amazing,
in
was
that
it?
left. Sorry?
No, he weren't amazing in that left back role, was he? I didn't.
Yeah, in that
think.
left back role, yeah. That's why after
Yeah.
a while you can see like him and Johnny Evans kind of switched, and then he looked more
Exactly.
assured. Yeah. So I think once we have players playing the right positions and all that, we should be a lot better. I don't see a repeat of Brighton or Wolves from the games you alluded to. I don't see a repeat of that. I think we're a little bit more confident this time.
Yeah, a massive talking point, Shayaz, is the wingers, because I'm looking at this season and I'm like, if anything's to go by last season, Ten Hag could be very, very stubborn with his choices, and it takes a lot for him to concede to a fact that, oh, actually, Anthony isn't as good as I thought he would have been. Let's play Ahmad, or let's do this, or let's do that. And I have a feeling a similar thing's going to pop up this season with Rashford, because I think Garnacho and Ahmad, on merit, on form, should be the two wingers that start that game against Fulham on Friday. Now, some people may disagree with me, and we'll get into the predicted 11s towards the end, but I just, for some reason, I can't see him dropping Marcus Rashford. Do you see that becoming not an issue, because it's nice to have a headache in that sense, but maybe favouritism a little bit?
I don't see it becoming as much of a problem, because I still remember last season as well. When it came to it, he actually ended up dropping Rashford in quite a few fixtures. He might have come on in the final few moments of certain fixtures, but Garnacho was given the go ahead in a lot of games last year. And this year, I would say Ahmad right now has made himself undroppable in this team with the way that he has been performing in the back end of last season, in pre-season this year, and even in the Community Shield. The way he has turned up, he's absolutely undroppable. Garnacho as well looks absolutely turned on. Has is
He
very
looks
high on
turned on, does he?
confidence after.
Pause.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just
Pause on
skipped
that.
went straight over that. He was like, yeah, straight glazing over it. Let me just, sorry to interrupt your point, Shrek. Let me ask you a quick question for you. If you had to start one of them now on the right hand side, Garnacho or Ahmad, who would you start?
Who are you asking?
But Shreyas.
Oh, okay. I would start Ahmad. I
Yeah.
think naturally having that sort of winger on the right hand side actually, helps out quite a bit. And one thing that I really like about Ahmad is he's very good. He knows when to actually, stretch the play out, when he has to go out wide, when he has to, move the ball inside a bit and look for a pass. And he creates a lot of trouble for any defense. And we saw it against City as well, who are a very good and, very organized side when it comes to, their defensive side of things. Um, and they're quite organized at the back. But he was able to create a lot of issues. He created like 2 to 3 chances once the momentum of the game actually turned, and I think he's very key when comes to actually creating those sort of chances. I think having someone like Hoyland and Xerxes will actually help out a lot more. Having that natural striker in that 9 position, I think Ahmad's game might elevate even a bit more after having that sort of a profile in that front three. But I think right now he's genuinely undroppable, and with this that kind of technical ability he has, with the kind of skill set he has, and the smartness that he has at this age, I think he's ready to have that big season. And I think he's one of the in that entire front three. I think he's the one who deserves a run of 5 to 6 games. Actually, yeah, I would actually put him even ahead of Garnacho right now with the way that he's been performing for us.
We've said this before though, Chivi, haven't we? Like, I agree with everything Shreyas has said there, but he has stuck with favourites in the past. So is that initial concern with you, or do you kind of echo the thoughts what Shreyas is saying?
I agree with Shiraz. Also, I think Ten Hag doesn't have the luxury of experimenting anymore. I think he understands now that his position is not as comfortable as it felt last season, right? During the early stages, at least. And I think that players won't get that much time anymore for error. I think it will be a matter of 2-3 games if you don't perform, because he has to act, and he knows he's not comfortable. What they did, what the Glazers or Ineos or whatever it was, what they did at the end of the season, let's not forget they didn't like give him a new contract. They did, but it was more like, yeah, you can stay, but
Yeah,
it's
for now,
right? So he has to. I don't think he has the luxury of just playing his favorites all the time, and he has new people with him now. There's Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah.
There's the other guy. I think he would be
the
listening to
other
them
guy.
as well.
Is
Yeah.
anyone's
Well,
focused on Ruud van Nistelrooy and Rene Hack's just the other
Yeah.
guy?
Rene Hack, yeah. So yeah, I think that's the case. I don't think he has time. I don't think you have the luxury to keep playing his favorites when they're not performing. And just a quick one on Ahmad. I put this in the group chat the other time. Like, I don't think people realize how good this guy is, because what I've realized with Ahmad is he's so dynamic. Like, he can be direct.
Yeah.
So he can be that traditional winger, and then he can be the winger who cuts in. He passes. I mean, everything. He does it all. And I think maybe it's just the packaging. Maybe it's the name. Maybe he's not as glamorous looking as the rest of them. But he is such a decent player, and I think he deserves. Well, such a decent player, such a really good player, and I think he deserves to start really. And I won't be opposed to bringing Garnacho on as an impact sub during games. I won't be opposed
Yeah.
to starting
Would
Rashford.
Garnacho accept that though?
Well, he has to. It's not up to him. If Ten Hag thinks he
I'm
can come
asking
on
'cause
and impact,
you know what
games.
type of character Garnacho is, isn't it? That's the only reason why I say.
Yeah. I mean, because even it's not like he goes to Argentina and demands a starting role. Like, he plays a big part role in the national team as well, and he's still young. Like, at United, like, we shouldn't have to be relying on him or starting him. We should have him come on. If he went to City, if he went to Arsenal, if he went anywhere else, I don't think he'd be like a game in, game out starter the whole time. So, and when he comes on, he impacts the game. And I mean, just imagine being a defender and having the luxury of Marcus Rashford for like 65 minutes, and then Garnacho comes on and he just brings something completely different from what you were having to deal with Marcus Rashford. So I'm not opposed to having Garnacho, someone like Garnacho or Højlund, both of them coming on as impact subs, because players like that will always come on and change the game, especially if we're chasing, if we need more energy, that sort of thing. So I think Ahmad should keep his spot, and Garnacho comes out. And we know Ahmad is going to get injured at some point. Like, that's a given. That is a given. Like, he will get injured. He will have to miss a couple of games. So you'd have a player like Garnacho to sort of interchange with.
The interesting thing is about Ahmad, I think he's got a year left on his contract. So they need to sort that out immediately with the way he's going. You can't let that go on for too long. And I'm sure they will. They've just dealt with Bruno's. They're dealing with some of the bigger ones. And hopefully they'll deal with Ahmad. Please do, everyone who's in the chat, get your comments in. And you feel I'll get to him very, very shortly. But yeah, get any thoughts, feelings, opinions on the game as you already have. And smash like on the video for us. And hit that subscribe button if you're new. Just last question on United before we talk a little bit about Fulham, Shreyas. Last game, we played Fulham at Old Trafford. We actually lost, I think, 2-1. And I remember that game. I remember bits of that game, especially Wolby's goal in the 97th minute. I mean, like, we had Ericsson and Maguire, I think, over on the left-hand side. And just the actual mobility and lack of pace in the team. Every time Fulham got it was just killing us on transitions. So I'm kind of hoping, you think we have to control games better now, don't we? That's one of the biggest glaring issues for me, at least.
I think even the manager as well, and he has the resources to actually pull that off now. You've got those, those sort of players who can actually, help you stabilize the game down a bit. They've got, and I would say, he's got the profile of players who's smart enough to know when to act and when not to act in certain situations. So I want to see a bit more uh, balanced out team this season, especially. And I think, having this first game against Fulham as well, like I mentioned it a lot of times, these are the games that actually, end up costing you top four or help you making top four. You against the top six, you might slip up in a few games, and those sort of games, they end up going anywhere. Sometimes it's lucky calls that actually, help us getting a win or a loss or a draw. games against clubs like Fulham, against teams like Palace, Bournemouth, these are the games where if you are able to maximize your points, they'll actually help you out a lot more. So I want to see, with the way that we played against City, with the way we've been seeing, glimpses in preseason, I think it can work, but we need to be very careful with the sort of players that we pick. And if we want to continue playing this system, if we have an injury crisis and we're playing the likes of Maguire, we're playing the likes of Casemiro and Eriksen in midfield, then you cannot play with this system. It will not work, and it will any team that comes up against us will keep on hitting us on the counter, and it will be the same situation once again where we're conceding 30 or 35 shots per game. So now that you've got players like Casemiro, Ugarte might be done pretty soon, or any other midfielder. You've still got the likes of Menu, and you've got Bruno, you've got Mount, you've got energy and legs in that midfield. So he needs to work it around in a way where things are actually died out a bit. You've got certain domination over the game itself, and the game actually ticks the way United actually wants it to tick, rather than us being able to dominate in spells of 15 to 20 minutes and teams just able to absorb that pressure and then just hitting us on the counter, getting a goal and just sitting down for the entire 90. I think that's a script that needs to change this season.
Yeah, I'm fascinated to see how we kick the season off. I want it to be positive, and I want us to get a decent win, score a couple of goals, and have that overall. Right, let's go forward now. Let's take that momentum into the other games. Adam's in the chat, our lucky Irishman, saying best transfer window in a long time, elite kit launch, Rude back in the club, and having an owner investing in the ground. Everything's full of positivity. And then the game, 1-0 Fulham, 89th minute Pereira. Yeah, and it just goes to shit, basically. T2 that Izzo says, if it's a false 9, I feel we'll definitely need Rashford's pace off the wing. I'm telling you, Rashford's going to start that game. 100%. Not bad, McMillan. Hope you're sorry, people commentating. Come on, you Reds. Come on, you Reds. Just keep your bottle and use your heads for 90 minutes. We'll let them know we're Man United. Here we go. A little chant there from Richard. Breaking news. Bruno Fernandes signed a new contract. Extended stay until June 2027. So that's officially been announced, which is fantastic, of course. El Capitano. Wow, so many comments. Disco Stew, De Ligt surely to go straight into the team. Experienced and mature for his age, so able to get straight to work, surely. Last season, teams went straight through our midfield with ease. We need to sort that issue out first and foremost. We can't afford to be conceding 20, 30 shots every game again. Very sensible comments. Rocky Singh, is he related to you? Shreyas?
No.
No Rockies in the family? No? Okay.
No.
Rocky Singh's put United first game, 11. Onana, Dalot, De Ligt, Martinez, Mazraoui, Casemiro, Menu, Garnacho, Fernandes, Rashford, Xerxes. Isn't that more than 11 players? You're cheating there. Random guy has gifted a real Red Stalk membership again. What a guy he is. Elite Baller is the recipient of that, so keep an eye out for a members video dropping over the weekend for you guys. Closing in on 6,450 subs, guys. Subscribe if you're new. Hopefully we get there by the end of the show. Cheers for that, Adam. I mean, there's too many comments to even get through a beer all day. And then I'll just read this last one. FYI, chaps, Come On You Reds was an FA Cup song in the 90s. Thanks for that, T2. Okay. Back to the preview. Fulham, 1, 2 out of 3 preseason games. No one gives a shit. No one judges form off preseason, but you can only go off the last couple of games, right? They've spent decent money on Smith Rowe. Brought a Spanish centre-back in, Jorge Cuenco, who I don't have a clue who it is, but they brought him in. But they've also lost the best player in Paulinho and a decent centre-back who we was linked with in Tosin Adarabioyo. Just on their... I'll go to you on this, Civir. Do you rate their manager, the way they play, the setup? Again, you could just turn around and say, I've never watched him. I don't care about him. But Marco Silva, do you rate him?
I was literally about to say I have no idea who the manager is.
Because I know you.
Marco Silva.
I know you.
That was good. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I better have...
It's all right. Have you seen that meme? He's all right.
It's all right. Yeah, it's all right. I don't know. I really don't know what to expect. I don't know that much about Fulham, to be honest.
What about the signings then? Let me ask you about the signings. Smith Rowe. Do you think that's a good signing?
Yes, it's a name. It's a big name for them, and I think I don't see too much of a... It will kind of be like what Andreas was, when he went there.
Yeah.
Big fish in a small pond kind of thing. Yeah, Smith Rowe. And it's the novelty will fade after like 3 games. Like it will be like, how Jesse Lingard went to West Ham or,
Yes.
So it's a good signing for them. Smith Rowe gets to play a lot. I really don't care. I think we'll be good. I think it doesn't matter who plays for them, I think we've got this one in the bag.
Yeah, I love that confidence. I hope someone says that when they ask him in an interview before the game. It's just, I don't care who they sign, but we're going to go beat him. Absolutely, I take that confidence. The striker is someone who I'm interested in. Shreyas. I think Muniz, is it? I don't know how to say it properly. He had a period around February, March, I believe, where he was just banging in goals, just goal after goal after goal. Scored, I think, got double figures in the league, 10 goals, which
is 10 or something, 10 or 11, yeah.
Yeah, hit a patch of form and looked like, and he had a good game against us as well, looked like a bit of a presence. Will you be keeping a close eye on him tomorrow in the game? Friday, fucking hell.
I think, yeah, definitely, having a physical striker like him who can navigate quite well in the box might prove a bit challenging, but I think with the kind of plays that I think might be starting, I think we'll be able to tackle that problem quite well. And personally, I think the thing is, will they be able to progress the ball freely, through our midfield or through our defensive line? That's the major question, because their midfield is not quite sorted right now. Palhinha has been a very, very big loss for them, and Palhinha has turned up against United every single time that he has come up against us. So losing that sort of an entity in that midfield will create a big issue for them. Might actually help in actually, Casemiro having a good game against them as well, because Palhinha was able to tackle him quite well when it came to physicality. So I still think that, with the kind of players that they've got in, it will be a bit challenging, because I think we'll be able to disrupt their rhythm quite well. Having Mainu in that midfield as well, and Casemiro being able to ping balls through. If we have a good, Xerxes starting in, I think we'll be able to create a lot more problems for them.
Mm. I was looking at Fulham in pre-season, just as doing a bit of research for this game. I know, God help me soul. And he was actually playing Smith Rowe as a 6. So he's playing him quite deep in midfield, which I was like, that's interesting. And he actually scored quite a few goals. I think he scored like 3 or 4 goals in pre-season. So he's been tearing it up for him. Again, it's pre-season. Andreas did it for us. You can't read too much into it. But I think he'll giving sometimes players that impetus to say, you're the main man, you go forward, it can give him that bit of belief and confidence. And he was never, ever going to get that at Arsenal when you've got Ødegaard in front of you and these kind of players. So I understand why he made that move. I just hope he doesn't score against us on Friday. Who are the ones to watch for you, Civir? So give us one United player and one Fulham player, if you can, but mainly United in this game.
The Fulham player, probably the Muniz guy. That's right. Yeah. United, Ahmad Diallo, the boy. If he starts, I think he starts. But yeah, so. Ahmad or Casemiro, I think, for the transition. But yeah,
interesting.
Are we playing home or away?
Home, Old Trafford.
Home. All right.
Yeah. So a good way to kick it off. Fulham, Old Trafford, Friday night. I think it should be good. Shreyas, who's your 2?
I think for us it will be Bruno or Xerxes if he starts or gets minutes. For them, I think it will be Anthony Robinson. I think having that sort of left back might prove quite challenging. If, Mazraoui actually having his first ever appearance for United might prove a bit challenging coming up against someone like him. He had quite a good season last year for Fulham as well, and might be able to keep up on that momentum against us.
Yeah, good luck.
Do you think Mazraoui starts?
I think so. Yeah.
So.
I don't know who else plays there. I don't want to see LIGT there again. I know he could do a job there, and it's all right for certain cup games, but I think he's more important at centre back. The way we play. So
I don't want to see. I don't want to see that, but I don't know. Ten Hag might be a bit more.
We'll save it for. We'll do it for the predicted 11, so we can get into that shortly. I'm going to go with Muniz, the striker again, because I think a handful, and I don't know who's going to be in our back line. It could be DeLicht starting new, could be I don't know. It could be Johnny Evans, in which case just keep an eye on that. And then I think Garnacho at the moment's got a bit between his teeth, and obviously scored a goal against City, so he's one to keep an eye on against Fulham, whether it's off the bench or whether he starts. Right, let's do some quick fire questions, lads. Will both teams score?
No.
Nice. How many players can you name who have played for both Fulham and United?
Luis Saha.
Yep.
Andreas Pereira.
Yeah.
Andreas.
Some big ones in there.
Chris Smalling.
Yes. The pushes, big keeper, big striker.
Goalkeeper. I was just about to say goalkeeper. Van der Sar.
Yep.
Van der Sar.
Yeah. Two great strikers that we've had play for Fulham.
Sheringham played for Fulham.
I don't think so. He had
No,
he played for a lot of teams: Spurs, West Ham, Forest. Don't think he played for Fulham.
Did Berbatov play for Fulham?
Berbatov, correct.
Berbatov,
Yeah.
all right, cool.
Dimitar Berbatov played there.
Fulham. Oh yeah, he left us. I went to Fulham, I think.
Yeah.
Did Sylvester play for Fulham?
Don't know about Sylvester. I don't think so. He's a striker.
Striker.
The big striker, scored a lot of goals for us. You might not know he's played for him, to be fair. I didn't when I saw it.
What era?
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Big striker.
Yeah, Shreyas weren't born, so.
Yeah.
Not Lou Saha.
No, Saha played for him, yeah. Saha's in the thing. Do you want me to tell you?
Wait. Big striker. Hold on.
I'll give you time. I wish we had like a
Go on.
countdown clock.
Go on,
You
then,
sure?
go on, then.
I'm gonna double fact check it just to make sure. But I had a look before. Yeah. Andy Cole. Andy Cole played for Fulham.
Yeah.
There you have it. I'm sure some people got it in the chat, to be fair. Saha, Cole, yeah, T2 years old got it. Berbatov, yeah, loads of people. Absolutely bang on with the knowledge, as always, guys. Will Fulham finish closer to the bottom or United closer to the top?
Fulham closer to the bottom.
Okay.
Both.
Both. Oh, you think United will finish close to the top?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. All right. Optimistic Jiv there. I'm a fan. I like it.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah. Will Bruno Fernandes get an assist?
He'll score. He'll not get an assist.
We'll probably score.
Okay.
Yeah.
And prediction
No.
for man of the match tomorrow.
McTominay.
Tommy, oh my god,
Yeah.
can you imagine? Yeah. Bump that price up just a little bit. Yeah. There you go, 25 mil now, last minute winner McTominay. No better way to say it, is
Yeah,
there?
he's supposed to be going to Fulham, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Ends up
Yeah, the
scoring
one
against
in.
them.
Oh yeah, game in.
Yeah.
I'm not even accepting any other answer other than McTominay at this point. Right, we're going to switch screens to the predicted 11s, guys. So, I'm going to start off with mine, and then I think Chivy and Shreyas had the same team, so them two can kind of run through that. I've got Onana in net. You know, the obvious Delo at right back. I think it's going to be Maguire and Martinez at centre back. Mazraoui at left back. I think they're going to chuck him in. And the reason why I say that is because he's played with Lissandro before. So Lissandro knows his game at Ajax. So I think Mazraoui will be alongside him. And I think it'll be Casemiro, Manu, Mount. Bruno is your false nine. Garnacho on the right-hand side and Rashford on the left-hand side. And just to kind of preference this is what I think he's going to start, not what I would personally start. Always have to say that because I would not go with this team, but I think Ten Hag probably does. So let's go into the lads' teams and see what they've put. Talk us through the team. If you can you remember it, lads? Before I asked you what you said, or do you want me to go through it? Go on, you go for it, Chive, if you remember it.
I think I went Dallo, Evans, Maguire, Lissandro.
Yep.
Casemiro, Mano, Ahmad, Bruno,
Yeah.
Rashford, and then Sancho with the false nine thing.
No, you
I
had
think that's-
Bruno.
Or did I
Bruno
go Xerxes?
No, you had Bruno, and then you had Mount in the team as well.
I had Mason Mount.
Yeah. Again, let me
Alright.
double check that because sometimes my memory doesn't think here. But let's have a look. Dallo, Evans, Maguire, Lissandro, Manu, Casemiro, Ahmad, Mount, Rashford, Bruno. That's what you said.
Okay, so this is me just replicating
Being
what he
you.
did against City. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's just going to do what he did against it. Like you said, Nick. I hope that's not the starting lineup, but I think that's what it's going to be.
Okay. Shreyas, why have you gone with a similar team?
I just think that, with the way we played against City, I doubt that he'll be actually moving on from it. I've seen Ten Hag stick to worse teams who haven't been performing well. This team actually was quite, was able to be quite impressive against City. And with De Ligt just coming in, Mazraoui just coming in, I think he might, and I think he might be sticking with the same formation with the same players all over again. I don't really see him making as many. He's never been that sort of a manager who makes drastic changes game after game after game. Even if he does make changes, it's at max one or two players at max. So I see him sticking with the same 11.
I think the only time he brought someone straight in was
Anthony.
Anthony, no, and what's his name? Oh, the defender. What the fuck? Lissandro. Yeah, Lissandro went straight in.
Oh, Brentford, wasn't it?
So
yeah,
straight in. So that being said, that might be the same thing with these guys because he knows them. So
that's
why he might just throw them in.
Yeah, that's why I've gone for that as well, because the relationship DeLicht as well. It's the same system, effectively, so they know how to play it. So the transitional period. There's the inevitable motorbike going past mine every time at this time. Thank you very much for that, mate. Right, the first inevitable score prediction of the season. And guys in the chat, get yours involved and I will read them out. And also give us a top tip for the game that you think is going to happen. Shreyas, I'm going to you first on this, mate. Score prediction. And give us a top tip as well, what you think is going to happen.
1-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
1-0.
Yeah, I think Bruno scores. I think we create a lot of chances, but not having that striker will cost us in finishing off those chances.
Yeah. You think it'd be cagey game or end-to-end?
I'll say I think it will be cagey for the start. I think it will be a bit rusty and scrappy.
Okay. Civir, I'm going to switch it over to you. I have a feeling it might be a slightly different scoreline. What do we reckon?
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-0. And I think it'll be one of them ones where it'll be 2-0 and then it could have been 4.
Okay.
So we missed chances.
Yeah.
Chances
I
goal,
think,
you think?
I think it will be a convincing win.
Okay. I hope you're right.
I hope I'm right. And I hope it's a different lineup from what I chose, and then we have like a really good thing. One thing I'll say about Fulham is, and I don't know why this has stuck in my head for so long, when we won the league in 2000, the 06-07 season, Shred, how old were we? 2?
3.
3, right.
Yeah, in a Vodafone shirt like that.
Yeah. We started that season on fire, and it was Fulham, and we beat them 6-0 in the first game. 6-1, I think. Marco Carter, like, that was just amazing. And I remember when Liverpool won the league, their first game was against Fulham, and they smashed them. And I immediately had back, like, what do you call that? Flashbacks.
So we need to win 6-1. We need to win 6-1.
I think we're going to have a good season. And I think with Fulham, I don't know, it's an omen, I think. I'm never superstitious, but I just have a feeling that it will be a good season. And I think we're going to have a really good game against Fulham.
Can I just say how refreshing it is to have you so positive and optimistic? Because
last year you were doing high fives. Stevie was doing high fives after we predicted that we'll draw against Liverpool.
Yeah.
It will be a 0-0 scoreline. Yes, let's go.
Yeah, so it's nice. It's nice to have some positivity back, because I think at times when we were doing previews for some of the games last season, it's like I don't see anything else other than a loss and 30 shots on goal.
Last year it came to a point where we knew that what the starting 11 would be. We knew that the opposing manager would also know what the starting 11, what all it.
Everybody knew. Yeah, exactly. Everybody knew. I was saying it to you guys. I think all the coaches in the Premier League had a WhatsApp group. Apart from Ten Hag. So there were like 19 coaches in this WhatsApp group. And they were all like, yeah, we're playing Man United tomorrow. Yes, just same as before. And then literally just, it was dire. But yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's in the past. This is the future and the present. That's what we look forward to. Right, last couple of comments. McMillan, United closer to the top, Fulham 10th. Apparently that's what McMillan's going with. Bruno to score an assist. McMillan, Dallo, man of the match. Get to 20 likes, Reds. Yes, please, if you can do. Anyone who hasn't hit that like button yet, I would appreciate that. Charlie's saying we're blessed. We have 4 really good wingers in Ahmad, Garnacho, Sancho and Rashford. We'll not know which 2 will play Ahmad and Garnacho on at the same time. Could be amazing. McMillan's going Onana, Mazraoui.
You're forgetting one.
Oh, God. I'm forgetting him for good reason.
What's up with Pelistri as well? What's up with him?
He's been linked
He is
with
on his way out.
Yeah, Bologna.
Is he?
Yeah. Don't blame him. He ain't getting in. That, he's just not getting in the team, is he? To be fair. McMillan saying Onana, Mazraoui, LIGT, Maguire, Dalot, Casemiro, Mainu, Mount, Ahmad, Bruno, Rashi. 2-0 to United. Rashi scores a pen. And why would Rashi score a pen? Bruno will be on pens random. Surely. As long as Johnny Evans isn't on him, and I'm fine with it. McMillan 3-1 United. Ahmad, Bruno, Mount to score. So many 4-0 to United. A lot of people seem very confident with this game. 4-0, I would absolutely take that. And what amazing, watch along back. I'll be live. If it is a 4-0, I'll make it great. I just hope we don't lose. Punch Paint saying, I think we win 3-1. I think we'll make one mistake and get it out of the way, and we smash him. I see Mount out there. And Richard saying, no one loves me. Wow, it's quite deep, that, Richard. We do love you. What are you on about? No one loves you. Come on. Don't put comments in like that. The world loves you, Richard.
Is that Richard Hawkins?
That is Richard Hawkins, correct, Civir.
Got mad love for him.
Yeah, there's love's there. Don't worry about it, Richard. That's why you're here, brother. Yeah, excited for the game, guys. Like we said, I'm going to be live 7 o'clock. Not just with the team lineups, with a full watch along. Watching the game, so come and join me, please. Need as many of you as you can. The Real Red Ultra Army in there. Got loads of stuff coming up over the next couple of days as well. We've got some pre-records. We've got a couple of live shows. So yeah, as always, stay tuned. Turn on that notification bell. Subscribe to the channel. And if you have nothing to watch after this, go and check out the interview me and Sam did with Ian Irvin, the host from Talk of the Devils.
Oh, I need to check that out, man.
Really, really good. Such a nice bloke. I spoke about his experience, about some of the big players that he's interviewed, about how Talk of the Devils came together. It was, just really, really enjoyed the chat from a selfish perspective because I'm a host, and just from a human perspective, he was good. So yeah, Shreyas, are you off on a cruise tonight or anything? What's the crack?
Yeah, just on the cruise today. Tomorrow I dock to another island, so just going to be enjoying on here.
Okay, well, enjoy it, mate. And Civir?
Very nice.
Okay.
Sorry.
You just go and make yourself a brew, mate.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys. And if anything breaks, of course, I'll go live for it. And we'll see you in the next one, yeah? Take it easy.